Hello, my name is Frank Teston, and I live in Toronto, Canada. I've been actively involved with the GNRC Contemplative Spiritual Formation Committee for almost 2 years. I want to let you know why I like the meditative prayer, which we practice every 2 weeks. First of all, as Catholics and Christians, we believe that God, Jesus, the source of love, is transcendent. That is, we consider God to be beyond merely physical experience. Secondly, we say that God is also immanent, meaning part of the material world, including you and me. I don't think I'd be exaggerating to say that many prayers at a Catholic Mass are addressed to a transcendent, somewhat distant deity. I'd like to tell you a story. About 15 years ago, I had a conversation with someone, and in the course of the exchange, I mentioned that I believed God was in Jesus. He said, okay, and then asked me, do you also believe that God is in you at this moment? I was speechless. I didn't know what to say. What came to my mind was, no, you are not worthy. No, you're not worthy. God and me? No way. My answer now is the affirmative yes. Well, what's changed? Since that time, I've read about some mystics, such as Meister Eckhart, who wrote that the most beautiful thing which a person can say about God would be for that person to remain silent from the wisdom of an inner wealth. So be silent and quit flapping your gums about God. Okay, Julian of Norwich, who wrote that we are in God, and God whom we do not see is in us. In addition, she wrote that God is nearer to us than our own soul, and God is the means whereby our substance and our sensuality are kept together so as to never be apart. Pierre Teilhard de Chardin, who wrote that by virtue of the creation and still more of the incarnation, nothing here below is profane for those who know how to see. Instead of seeing the divine as only up in the sky, these and other mystics, such as Francis of Assisi, recognize the presence of the God of love living intimately in themselves, as close as the breaths we take and the beats of our heart. Our God of love intimately accompanies us during times of darkness, suffering, confusion, rejection, and also in times of light, joy, gratitude. Now, I've also read contemporary writers, such as Matthew Fox, author of Original Blessing, a primer in creation spirituality. Creation spirituality, liberating gifts for the peoples of the earth. And A Way to God, Thomas Merton's creation spirituality journey. I've also read Joan Chittister, who wrote In God's Holy Light, Wisdom from the Desert Monastics, and The Gift of Years, Growing Old Gracefully. I may say something about my age. All right, I've also read Lawrence Freeman, who wrote Light Within, Meditation as Pure Prayer, and Fully Alive, An Introduction to Christian Meditation. Thomas Keating, who wrote Open Mind, Open Heart, The Contemplative Dimension of the Gospel, and Intimacy with God, An Introduction to Centering Prayer. Richard Rohr, who wrote the universal Christ, the immortal diamond, the search for our true self, and everything belongs, the gift of contemplative prayer. Pope Francis, who wrote in Laudato Si that God is present in the whole universe and in the smallest of creatures. In addition, he wrote that Jesus gazed upon this world with human eyes and today is alive in every creature. The Holy Spirit dwells in our hearts and inspires us to do what is good. I now see the divine as being part of the material world since the Big Bang some 13.8 billion years ago. This is the original incarnation. There has never been a split between the spiritual and the profane. It's all one world. If only we have the eyes, the consciousness to recognize it. I've also practiced meditative prayer, which has been a way to become more conscious of the God of love who lives in my very being. If in me, without merit, then in everyone, without exception. This includes all LGBTI persons. And what a beautiful world it is. The Global Network of Rainbow Catholics has been offering a meditation session every 2 weeks since February of 2020. The time was not convenient, however, for most persons in the Americas. Starting July 31st, we will be gathering online at a more convenient time on every other Saturday. Please check the GNRC website for information on the time and how to join our online gathering. We're using the online platform Meditation Chapel, and there we're known as the Rainbow Contemplatives. The form of prayer that helps me to get in touch with the love within is silent prayer, such as what is practiced in centering prayer, as developed by Thomas Keating, or by the World Community for Christian Meditation, led by John Main and Lawrence Freeman. That is what resonates with me. I invite you to join us.